The entire university auditorium was silent. Hundreds of students sat in their seats, whispering to each other as security guards escorted a young man toward the stage. His name was Daniel Kim. Just 2 hours earlier, he had been one of the top students in the engineering department. Now, the university had labeled him a cheater. And they were about to expel him in front of everyone, but what no one in that room knew was that a single security camera recording was about to destroy the entire accusation and expose the one person who had planned everything. Part 1. The quiet student. Daniel Kim wasn't the kind of student people noticed. He rarely spoke in class. He always sat in the back row, taking notes quietly while others talked and laughed. Some students thought he was shy, others thought he was strange. But his professors knew something different. Daniel was brilliant. Every assignment he submitted was nearly perfect. Every exam score placed him at the top of the class. But success often attracts attention, and sometimes the wrong kind. Especially from students who were used to being number one. One of them was Marcus Lee. Marcus had been the top engineering student for 3 years. Until Daniel transferred to the university. Suddenly, Marcus was no longer first place. And he hated it. Part 2. The final exam. The engineering department's final exam was known as the hardest test in the university. Whoever scored highest would receive a prestigious international scholarship. Both Marcus and Daniel were competing for it. The exam lasted for hours. Students worked silently as professors walked between rows. Everything seemed normal, until a professor suddenly stopped beside Daniel's desk. "Stand up," the professor said coldly. The room went quiet. Daniel looked confused. "Is something wrong?" The professor held up a small folded paper. It contained formulas for the exact exam questions. "This was found under your desk," students gasped. Marcus leaned back in his chair trying to hide a small smile. Part 3. Public humiliation. Within minutes, Daniel was escorted out of the classroom. The university administration moved quickly. By the afternoon, the decision was already made. Daniel Kim would be expelled for academic dishonesty. The announcement was scheduled during the department assembly. Standing in front of hundreds of students, Daniel tried to explain. "I didn't bring that paper," he said. But no one believed him. The evidence seemed obvious. The paper was under his desk. The formulas matched the exam. Case closed. The dean looked disappointed. "This university has zero tolerance for cheating." The crowd whispered. Some students shook their heads. Others took out their phones, recording the moment. Daniel's reputation was being destroyed. But then, something unexpected happened. Part 4. The security officer. Just as the dean prepared to sign the expulsion document, a voice spoke from the back of the auditorium. "Wait." Everyone turned. It was Mr. Park, the campus security supervisor. He was holding a tablet. "I believe we should check something first." The dean frowned. "What is it?" Mr. Park walked to the stage. "There is a security camera in the exam hall." Suddenly the room became quiet again. "I reviewed the footage from this morning." The dean hesitated. "Play it." Part 5. The footage. The large projector screen turned on. The video showed the exam hall from the ceiling camera. Students entering, finding their seats, opening their exam papers. Then the footage zoomed slightly. Marcus walked toward his seat, but instead of sitting immediately, he paused beside Daniel's desk for only a few seconds. His hand moved quickly under the table. Then he sat down. The room exploded with whispers. Mr. Park paused the video. "Would you like to see it again?" The dean's face turned pale. Marcus looked frozen in his chair. The video played once more, clearer this time. Marcus had placed the cheat sheet under Daniel's desk. Part 6. The truth. Marcus suddenly stood up. "This doesn't prove anything," but his voice was shaking. The dean turned toward him slowly. "Marcus, would you like to explain?" Silence. The entire auditorium watched. Marcus looked around the room, then finally lowered his head. "I just didn't want to lose the scholarship." Gasps filled the hall. Years of reputation collapsed in seconds. The dean closed the folder containing Daniel's expulsion papers. "Daniel Kim," he said calmly, "you are cleared of all accusations." The room erupted into applause, but the dean wasn't finished. As for Marcus Lee, his voice hardened. You will face immediate disciplinary action. Turning point. Later that week, the final exam results were announced. Daniel scored the highest grade in the department, and the international scholarship was awarded to him. For the first time since transferring to the university, students approached him, not with whispers, but with respect. Ending. At the graduation ceremony months later, the dean told the story again. Not as a scandal, but as a lesson. Truth, he said, may take time to appear, but when it does, it changes everything. Daniel stood on stage, holding his diploma. The same students who once doubted him were now standing and applauding, because the quiet student they once ignored had just become the university's proudest graduate. If this story moved you, remember to like the video and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, do you think the truth always comes out in the end?